wasn't anything to do with us, unfortunately. Oh, fortunately, rather. I should say. Sorry. Actually, yeah. And then since then, we've just been gigging quite a lot. Did Camden Crawl, did Glastonbury on the BBC Introducing stage.
How did that go? Was that good?
It was awesome. Yeah, we had a really good time. And then since then, we've been touring this single this week. Sheffield tonight, like I said, Hull last night. And yeah, it's all good. Secret Garden Festival next week. And
is there an album brewing?
It's brewing. It's a bit far off being recorded yet. We're still sort of saving up for that. But yeah, definitely brewing.
Sure. I'm trying to think what. So you're working on songs, but
yeah.
Does it cost a lot to record an album?
It sort of costs more than we've got. We're sort of doing it song at a time at the moment. We've just recorded what we want to be our next single, which we want to put out in the autumn.
Yeah.
And I think after that we'll start looking at kind of making it into a coherent sort of body.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Now we have a series of questions that we've compiled together.
Okay.
It gives us tries to give a sense of each of our guests. You have to think about them, but also don't think too long. Gut reaction.
Okay.
First up, what would you ban?
Oh, knives.
Knives.
Yeah.
Right. No, that's fair enough. It's certainly topical.
Not in restaurants, but on the streets.
Sure. So we had a question from Kate. She said, "What advice would you give your teenage self?"
Cheer up.
Cheer up. Okay. Rosie said, "If you could jump into any film and live the life depicted in that film forevermore, what film would you choose?"
Gladiator.
Gladiator. That's quite a downbeat film there. His wife and kid get killed and then he dies.
I think I said that because I was reading about this Hadrian exhibition that's coming on, so I'm sort of, my head's full of Roman soldiers.
Sure. Okay. What would you like to...
Song I'm about to play.
Okay. If you could exchange lives with anyone, who would it be?
You.
Of course. And what wakes you up in a cold sweat? What sort of recurring nightmare that you might have?
It was missing the train this morning, to be honest, actually.
Oh, that's very sweet. Well, I appreciate you having the anxiety and coming down. So you're going to do another tune for us.
Yeah.
What's this one?
This is called Chateau. I think I need to tune this thing.
Okay. And there's no more involvement from us on this one?
No, not really.
Okay. A little bit disappointed.
Sorry. I probably should have done this one first and saved the good bit till the end.
I was cracking, I really enjoyed it. So if you want to hear it again, don't be afraid to use the Listen Again facility. You can go to the BBC website and you can click on various buttons and you can listen again if you enjoyed our singing along and marginally ruining an always excellent song. And so what have you got for us here?
This one's called Chateau.
Chateau.
And this is the single that we put out at the end of January this year.
Perfect. You're all tuned up?
I'm all tuned up.
Good luck. Fantastic. Absolutely brilliant. So much. That was wonderful. Absolutely wonderful. Do you know what? You don't need the rest of the band.
Not really, no.
Go solo. I know you've only been together for a year. Go solo. That's what I'm saying. All right?
Thanks.
And I was a fan of Oasis. You know what I mean? When they first came out, I said, there's a good band. All right, so I know what I'm talking about musically. Okay?
Well spotted.
And also, before you go, you of course have a moustache.
I do.
Do you have a tash rag, like Sammy's father? Is that what it's called?
Yeah, that's correct.
A tash rag.
A fine tooth comb is much more gentlemanly.
He's a classier man.
Yeah, you don't find your moustache is covered in gunk and sputum that needs to be wiped clean.
I mean, if I'm in danger, I'll tend to hold it out of the way.
Sure.
Quite careful with it.
Sure. Good. Excellent. Well, listen, if you're a fan of the Brute Chorus, you can hear the full Brute Chorus sound on. There's a MySpace page.
MySpace.com/The Brute Chorus.
Fantastic. And people can catch you performing live. Are you still sort of traipsing around the country?
Yeah, we're in Sheffield tonight, and then we're in London at Dingwalls on the 30th.
Brilliant. Thank you very much indeed for coming in. Round of applause again.
BBC.
I don't know what's happened there, but someone's not put the radio-friendly version in of Paris, Gorilla Funk. I mean, for goodness sake, are we running a... I normally, I've got clean versions of every single song.
Yeah.
You know me, I'm like...
Some that you've made yourself.
Listen, I'm like the Disney Corporation for cleanliness and family values. You know that. You know that's how I roll.
Yeah.
I would never say, I'd always say, you dirty MF.
Of course,
if I'm ever in that scenario where I've got to accuse someone of being an MF,
exactly.
I'd never say the full sentence.
It's Christmas dinner.
Exactly.
You're around the table.
Once again,
Exactly.
You've run out of gravy.
Exactly.
Dad.
My father, I'm asking him to pass the sprouts. He's failed to do so. Damn it, you MF.
Ron, you absolute
Absolute MF, I say. And I'm accurate.
Yeah,
but it's
yeah.
not. But it's not appropriate
Exactly.
at that time.
You're accurate, but it's not going to upset everyone else around the table.
Exactly. But so I can only apologise if you heard some effing and blinding
There's
there.
a lot of swearing in
There's
there
an
as
awful
well.
lot of swearing,
There's a
actually.
huge amount of swearing.
Because I've got the clean version on a CD here in the bag, so I could whip that out any minute if you want.
Yeah, it's
and
mostly
put that
like
back on.
boings and sound effects, isn't it? So I've got to get rid of most of the words.
Yeah, I do it mainly myself. Whoops! There's lots of, and what's it called? One of those penny whistles or whatever they are. So yeah, I do it. But as I say, I mean, you'd have thought that there'd be some top level inquiries going on now. I imagine even now to see whose heads are gonna roll.
Are we still on air?
I don't know if we're still on there now. I imagine that we've already clicked into some kind of safety track.
Yeah, if we're still on air, text in 640.
Yeah, let us know, because we're presuming we've been pulled off.
Yeah.
Oh, that's a
don't.
shame, because I've suddenly got blue.
Yeah.
But I'm imagining that they've put something on, it's a very calming voice. Maybe Paul Gambaccini is on right now, just running through the top 40 American album chart.
Gambo would never swear.
He would never make a mistake like that, and he would not allow a tune to be played on the air that's got Evan and Blinding in it.
Yeah.
Because it would be, I don't know, he's probably playing perhaps something from the Bee Gees
Yeah.
right now, or Shelby Lynn. I don't even know who that is. Saw her name on a poster. I thought, I must remember Shelby Lynn, that's a nice name. And finally I've got to use it. After a year of broadcasting, I finally got to mention Shelby Lynn's name. Okay, so let's salvage it. Let's dig ourselves out of this hole with a musical choice from Sammy. Let's hope it's not got any swearing in it.
You wouldn't find these fellas effing and blind on record. I've gone right back to the 70s, 1971. My mum was still a child. She was a tiny child. I've been listening to a lot of Fleet Foxes, and it reminds me an awful lot of Crosby, Stills, Nash & Young, so I thought I'd play my favourite Crosby, Stills, Nash & Young song, and it's Find the Cost of Freedom.
Thank you very much indeed, and apologies again if you heard some blue language. Not my fault. That's Sammy's musical choice this week, and what was it?
It was beautiful, Steve. It was Find the Cost of Freedom by Crosby, Stills, Nash & Young, and you'll find that on a live album, or probably on iTunes.
And you were going to tell us earlier about your father's, because you phoned him up, didn't you?
I did, yes.
To explain himself.
I'll be honest, he seemed affronted that we assumed he was an axe-wielding maniac.
Sorry, we should just clarify, if you've only just joined us, we were talking earlier about the eccentricities that individuals have. Harry's girlfriend makes a list when she goes shopping of all the things they already have, so that she can compare that with what there is on the shelves. It takes her often a day and a half to do the shopping, but she's very thorough.
Yeah.
And so they never go without. And Sammy felt she could contribute to that discussion, and the example she gave was her father, who lent her an axe recently, having been, what was it, hacking up a dead
Hacking up
cat.
the corpse of a cat.
Yes, okay, so we felt we needed some clarification. It didn't occur to Sammy to ask her father at the time, what exactly were you doing hacking up a cat? So we felt we should ask that question, and the answer was?
The answer was, in his line of work, he is a joiner, he is a handy man. He sometimes has to go under floorboards and clear out great areas where he will find mummified corpses of rats, cats, pigeons, you name it. And rather than ripping them apart with his bare hands to clear the area, he needs to use his axe. He did finish the phone call by saying, "Seen a lot of action, that little axe," which worried me a little.
Ooh, dear.
But yes, it was purely safe, above board, to do with his job. I feel a bit more disgusting that I did bite that without having been washed.
Yeah, good. Well, I look forward to hearing other things he's hacked. Hey, what have you hacked up with a tiny axe? Why not get in touch? 64046. Okay, let's get some more music, and we're still a bit rattled from the Effing Blinding from Paris. Particularly, it's such a good tune. I was so annoyed that we didn't hear the rest of it, but we'll squeeze in some War on Drugs. From new album by The War on Drugs, the tune is Taking the Farm, and the album is released on August the 4th, and it's called Wagon Wheel Blues, and it's well worth checking out. Okay, so we had a musical choice from Harry and also from Sammy, but of course you, the listener, can get in touch via the website and recommend tunes, and someone who has done that is on the line now. Is it Clive?
It is Clive. Hi,
Hello, mate.
Steve.
All right, how are you going?
I'm doing very well, mate.
I'm just going to turn you up a bit because you're a fraction too quiet. Were you listening when we played some Effing and Blinding from Rapstar Paris?
Yeah.
I can only apologise. I'm actually now going to phone every single Six Music listener and apologise personally to them, and that should take me 6 minutes.
It's the right thing to do.
Exactly. But yes, I do apologise. And you're calling from Brighton?
Indeed.
What do you do in Brighton?
Well, at the moment, I'm between jobs, shall we say.
You're between jobs.
Yeah.
Okay. I don't want to delve.
No,
I don't
it's
know.
probably best not to.
But I don't know whether something unpleasant has happened. Have you ever hacked anything up with a small axe?
Well, perhaps that's why I'm between jobs.
Sure. Yeah. No, I can imagine that could be the case.
Not that I can remember.
How comfortable do you feel in answering our questionnaire that we're bringing together here on the show? We're drawing up a list of questions which we're going to ask each contributor.
Yeah, go for it.
Okay. Just the first thing that comes into your head gives us a sense of who you are.
Okay.
What would you ban, Clive?
Hip-hop tracks with effing and jeffing in them.
That is very good. Thank you very much. Yes. Do you know what? Someone in this studio is sweating because they're going to get fired. Yeah. And it ain't going to be me. What advice, Clive, would you give your teenage self?
Open your curtains.
Open your curtains. Open your curtains. It's extraordinary, but I don't quite know what you mean. It's almost seedy. If you could jump into any film and live the life depicted in that film, what film would you choose?
It'd have to be with Nor and I.
Really? But would you be with Null or I?
I think I'd have to be
Uncle
with Nor.
Monty?
Uncle Monty. So, are you a bit of a
I'm
drinker?
not Uncle Monty, I know I'm from Brighton.
Are you a little bit of a drinker? Is that why you're between jobs?
I've known to have the odd tipple.
Sure, but you can't handle your booze. What would you what would you like to apologise for, Clive?
Oh, that's a good one. Being between jobs, probably.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's probably the safest.
Who are you apologising to? Your wife and kids?
Apologising to everyone.
Sure. If you could exchange lives with anyone in the world, living or dead, famous or otherwise, who would it be?
Well, it would have to be Michael Franti.
Michael Franti?
Yeah.
Okay, well that's going to tie us in very nicely to your musical choice.
Indeed.
What is your musical
Seamlessly.
choice? What have you chosen for us?
Oh, sorry, it's Disposable Heroes of Hypocrisy. It's called Water Pistol Man.
Fantastic. And what led you to this tune? Are you a hip-hop fan?
I am a big hip-hop fan, yeah. A friend of mine played me Television, Drug of the Nation, which I'm sure you know.
Yeah.
And obviously, being from the projects of Brighton, it struck a chord.
Yes.
And any hip-hop track that can reference Billy Bragg's, obviously, all right by me.
And it said something to you about your life.
Oh, absolutely.
We'll listen to it, and then we will come back and give you our verdict. We won't give you a verdict, we love the tune already. But stay there, Clive, we'll listen to the tune.
Will do.
Okay. Disposable Heroes of Hypocrisy. It's difficult to say if you're trying to rattle through it instead of taking your time. Hey there, Paul Gambaccini here. I can't do an impression. Disposable Heroes of Hypocrisy. Nicely done. And Water Pistol Man, the choice of our listener Clive, who's in Brighton. Hey, Clive.
Hey, mate. How you
Great
doing?
tune, man. I haven't heard it for a long time.
Oh, it's classic. Absolute classic. I think Spearhead did a cover of it with Michael Franti as well, so...
Absolute props to you, my man, for keeping it real and dropping that tune.
Well, you know me, chilling and illing.
Yeah, no, I know. That's exactly what I'll be doing later, mate.
Oh, lovely.
Just what, you going to be in the crib, or...?
Oh, never out of the crib.
Yeah, no, I'm never out of the crib. I was going to ask you, we're trying to draw up this list of questions which will help us get under the skin of any future contributors. Got a question we could throw on the list?
Something like, what did you do as a child that you go back and change? Perhaps something like that.
Okay, alright, what would you change? Or maybe we could broaden it out to say what past deed would you change?
Oh, yeah,
if you could go back in time. Yeah, alright, thanks very much. I'm going to add that to the list.
Okay.
I'm just going to... Clive Brighton. This is not interesting radio while I write this
Reading
down.
out what you're writing.
This is actually... Listen to Steve Merchant doing admin. Next week, his VAT return. Okay, yeah, we'll do that in a sec. But that was great. Thank you so much for getting in touch, and I'm sure we'll put you in the file of not mental callers.
Nice one.
Excellent. Thank you, mate.
Thanks, Steve.
All the
Keep it
best.
real.
Cheers. Thank you. You keep it bloody real, mate. Let's have a little round of applause for Clive. He's a nice guy. And yes, we. So if you want to get in touch and recommend a tune to us, you can do it by doing what, Harry?
Well, what you'd do, if I were you, is you'd go to the Six Music website.
Would you?
Yeah, it's at bbc.co.uk/Six Music. Now, it's changed quite recently. If you've not recommended a track for a while, or you've not even been there for a while, why don't you go back? There's lots of exciting new fonts. And you can somehow, by some kind of technical jiggery-pokery, find the show and find the little thing that you have to click to